the shit's like so beyond me to where I can't even like talk about it in reasonable terms. Well, the big thing about today is Doc Rivers did his press run. And I mean, he was just lying up a fucking storm.
Lying
all on national television.
What was his lies? I didn't pay attention. I heard that he wanted to have the chance to talk Ben into staying.
The first big lie Doc Rivers told was that he tried to spin what he said after the Hawks game, right? So he was like, "Oh, the big narrative is that I said that Ben can't be a part of a championship team or the point guard of a championship team. I didn't say that. I said I was talking about, man, you clearly fucking said. What do you take us for?" And then I hate those guys that does these interviews and they're like, "Oh, okay, that's what you were talking about." You know, when no, Doc, you didn't. We have the audio. What the fuck do you want? You said, "I don't know. I don't know if he can do it." You know what I mean? That's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's the first lie. Then everything else was lies too. I mean, we want Ben back. We definitely think he could be a part of a championship team, and we want him to be, on this roster. We want him in camp. That's just all lies. I mean, I understand that at this point, they have to try to do their best to work up the trade value again.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. Now they did ask him, has he spoken to Ben? He said maybe once or twice this offseason. And I'm thinking that's when Ben came in and said, "Hey, get me the fuck out of here." No other talks ever
Could have been.
Yeah.
It is weird. Like, how do a lot of these guys communicate? I mean, would they text each other and just somebody gets left on red, or or do you?
I'm sure they text,
call.
call. I'm sure that social media now is a part of it. I'm sure they should have video calls or something set up that source over the off season.
Yeah.
They're supposed to communicate for sure. Like I said, man, I am all in on the train of let his ass sit and rot.
Really?
I think that's the best course of action.
Why do you believe that's the best course of action rather than a trade, where you as the Sixers you get something that could potentially help you this year? And I'm not saying a horrific, dumb trade. You get a couple spare parts, but why do you prefer sitting and rotting rather than some sort of trade that's going to bring in a player value?
There has not been one reported trade that makes sense for us, right? And that's the reason why the trade hasn't been done, right? So that's off the board. So we got to take that hypothetical off the board because there just aren't any, right? His trade value is so low that people are really, we say they're trying us, like they're really like they're doing a disservice to us. They're fucking humiliating us with these trade ideas, right? So he doesn't want to come in to increase his trade value, right? Because ideally we want him to come into camp, ball out, maybe play a few games in the season so people can remember, whatever.
This guy's pretty good.
This guy's pretty good, and trade him. So he doesn't want to do that, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to talk to us. He doesn't want to answer phone calls from anybody on the team, coaches wise, all of that good stuff. Let's find the fuck out of him, and let's get him for everything. I was reading something today where the Sixers can get really petty. Find him for not showing up to media during training camp daily, not showing up to practices, not showing up to fucking whatever, and everything, like every single thing they can do. Now, here's the thing: if they trade him during the season, right?
Yeah.
And say that we haven't been paying him and we've been fining him, the team that trades for him can pay him that salary that we did not pay him and restore his fines. So in theory, he wouldn't have lost out on anything.
So he doesn't fear the fines.
He doesn't fear the fines, and he doesn't fear the paychecks.
Is made.
So I say, no, fuck you. Sit his ass out the entire year, so he loses the entire year's salary and on top of fines.
Well, are you? I guess I don't know the situation. Are you? The mechanism of fining. You can have a fine for not doing something. I always assume that comes out of the salary owed to you.
So, no. It's on top.
It's on top.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
100% certain on that.
Yeah, I'm 100% certain on that. I'm
Okay.
100%. Oh well, and I got that information from Kendrick Perkins. Take that from what he's been hot recently. Man.
I actually agreed with him today.
He's been hot recently.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
So
that's
Kendrick Perkins
interesting,
broke
then.
that down about the times he's gotten fined over the years, and that's not on top of the salary. Now his game checks and whatever practice checks, all of that stuff, that's coming out of his salary, of course. All right.
Yeah.
Now, and here's the thing, we went through the process, so we aren't scared of not having Ben Simmons for a fucking year or two. I would draw it out to 2 years.
Really?
That's how committed I am, because this guy, I've never hated a guy this much. I mean, I don't know,
Really?
he's really, the shit's like so beyond me to where I can't even talk about it in reasonable terms. Because this guy he's mad when all we wanted him to do was take a jump shot. The shit is so it's so mind blowing. It's so mind blowing. It's really crazy. I've never heard of anything like this in my entire fucking life. I mean, nothing comes close to this in the history of professional sports. We only wanted him to take a jumper, man. That's it. That's literally it.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he did. I mean, he took a beating in the playoffs. Rightly so. And part of me is like that this is like that he's just humiliated and psychologically damaged.
Yeah, but yeah.
And he only sees the escape of getting out of Philadelphia. Like, the only way he sees himself kind of restoring himself is to get out of Philadelphia.
Why not redeem yourself?
I don't think he has it in him. For the very reason that I do think a player of his talent, if he was that dude, he would have probably developed his jump shot better up to this point in his career if he was that guy. And when he's not doing that, he's telling you, I'm not this guy. And the fact at the end of the year was, to me, like, in the midst of the wind down through the playoffs, all the heat he was taking, he made no statement of defiance. He then, really just did nothing. He kind of disappeared. There was no, again, he stopped communicating with the team. There was just nothing there. I'm going to come back and,
he hasn't
do
said
anything.
Yeah.
That just tells you who this guy is. On that level, the way I evaluate competitors and people doing stuff, I agree Philly should get rid of him.
Yeah.
100%. And I've lost, respect for him. And I kind of enjoyed him as a player. I liked him. But this behavior here is definitive that this guy's just not that dude.
And it really hurts too that I called it ahead of time. That hurts.
Funny,
that hurts too.
It hurts.
It hurts because
you don't feel vindicated. There's not a certain measure of pride deep down inside.
No, because when it's your team, you want to be wrong about something negative.
I don't think I've ever gone in that hard on my own team though. That you went in on that.
I know, but it's because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming because I've seen it before, and how fucking Elton Brand still has a job to this day. I mean,
but what does he do? Does he bring donuts or something? Daryl Morey is the guy now, right?
He needs to be gone with Ben.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he still has a job. Yeah. I mean,
I seriously, I want an Elton Brand cam that shows us what his day consist of.
Because Daryl Morey is
Daryl Morey's Daryl Morey, and Doc has a big presence about him.
Yeah.
So legitimately, what does Elton Brand do during the day?
Yeah.
Is he down on the fucking treadmill or something for 2 hours, and he's in the cafeteria for 90 minutes and he's fucking around on his phone? Dude, what are you doing? We need some work product out of you.
Yeah. No, we don't need any work out of him. His work is done. Yeah.